Alrighty, happy to be here. I'm feeling good. I am very happy. I am pretending. That's what you have to do. Here's the thing: is brain not that smart. Brain get trick if you tell brain you happy. If you tell brain you sad, brain will believe you. Brain very gullible. That's the thing. One of the toughest challenges that brain has, and that's how we get things like fascism and Jinko jeans. And people bleaching or shaving off their fucking eyebrows. I saw a woman on the street. I say woman, I mean teenager. Which that's not that is not a mistake you want to make on camera. You don't want to be the guy who's like, I saw a woman. How old is she? 19. That's, yeah, whatever. Who gives a shit? This woman's not real. This is just a joke. I made her up. I saw this on the internet. I saw a woman on the street the other day because I like to leave my home. And she had, like, I don't know if you guys have seen this, the new trend. It's you bleach your fucking eyebrows or shave them off. Like, I think, what's her name from Uncut Gems? I think she did it. And I can't imagine she's the first to do it. I would assume at least one schizophrenic in a mental hospital did it before her. That would be my guess. Like, I can't imagine that no one going through a severe mental health crisis ever has there's no way that nobody going through that has ever thought, I can bleach my eyebrows, but I look pretty good. It doesn't look good. But brain dumb, brain gullible. Your head gets smart, but your brain gets dumb. And I think what happened, the reason why our brains are all dumb right now is that Smash Mouth's All-Star enjoyed this sort of like vaunted place as a Shrek meme for like too many years. Like for 20 years, everyone was just like, All-Star by Smash Mouth. Ironically enjoy it. And it turns out that shit's like fentanyl for your brain. It just rots it from the inside out. And before you know it, you're out here bleaching your eyebrows and doing mid parts. And I just realized that I'm just saying things that Gen Z are doing. So I don't know if you knew this, 87 years old. And that's what's really important, is that everyone knows that I am the oldest man on earth, and I hate teens. I saw a couple of teens on my lawn the other day, and I said, get out of here. And they were like, hey, you don't own a lawn. This is a park. You're homeless. And I was like, brr, and I went back in my tent and shook dice. I wasn't masturbating. I don't do that with my left hand. I do it with my right. And never in a tent. You don't want to be the guy out here whacking off in a tent. Unless that's all you have. Then what other choice do you have? You can't just not whack off. I think that's a human rights violation. I think it is against the Geneva Convention. I think the first thing when they were putting together the Geneva Convention, all these old politicians, they were like, oh, yes, for England, Reginald D. Reginaldson. And they were like, for Germany, we have Wilhelm V. Wilhelmsen. And they're like, that's heard. How old do we have such similar structures to our names? And he goes, I never thought of it that way. All right, the first proposal for the Geneva Convention. No torture. And Reginald, wait. Before we get to that, we must get to something important. I hereby propose it is illegal to prevent a man from masturbating in his own tent if that is all he has. Oh, hi, here. Oh, yeah. Everyone, that was unanimous. And then the no torture thing, it took them like 10 days to come to a consensus on. And all these guys, they were like, you're going to have to be able to masturbate. You can't just leave a man without any sort of outlet. But torture, I don't know if we can all agree that that's bad. What if you need to get information out of a fella and he won't give it to you? Well, gonna have to attach some batteries to his nipples and which is also how I masturbate in my tent. I attach a car battery to my nipples and it feels so good. It's like autoerotic asphyxiation, but without all the prestige. without all the name brand recognition. That's like, if you go and try and buy autoerotic asphyxiation at No Frills, they're going to just hand you a car battery and go, it's just as good. Don't worry about it. Hey, don't be greedy. Take the car battery and get out there. Have fun, champ. And you're like, oh, alrighty, I'll do it. I have been feeling lonely as shit today. This is one of those days where I didn't smoke weed last night. I'm trying to take a little breaky poo, because I want to achieve things in my life. Weed makes it too much fun to not do that. And so I had to get rid of it. I had to go, no more out of you, ganja. And ganja was like, please smoke me. And I was like, no, I can't do it. Don't want to. Bye-bye. So then what are you going to do? I fucking all day today, I'm just like, every time I've been like smoking weed every night for like 2 weeks. And then I decided to take a day off. The whole first day without it, I'm just like, I don't want to be alive anymore. I'm like the mom in Hereditary after her little kid's head gets knocked off, just like, I don't want to be alive anymore. Fun comparison. Yeah, that's how I feel. And that's what I stand by. Quitting weed for one day is like being the mom from Hereditary right after her daughter's head gets knocked off by a telephone pole. That's what I believe. Elect me to Congress. Yeah, but no. So I just all day have just been like, need human connection. But instead of doing that, I just like stayed home and read a fantasy novel. And just like every time they were like, oh, and then the fellowship all joined hands. I was like, that must be nice. I'd like to join hands with my friends and go on an adventure. And they're like, but you can't. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I don't need to. Who needs that? Who needs the pressure of joining hands with your friends to go on a fucking journey to throw a goblet into a big thunder mountain? That's too much. It's not. Can you imagine if you were just like living your life in the Shire? I don't know what Bilbo or Frodo did. Do people have jobs in the Shire? Some people had jobs in the Shire. What was Frodo's job? Like, he just got picked for this pretty out there assignment because his uncle kind of knew the guy. Like, Frodo's just a Nepo baby. Frodo is just, he's lying around on his trust fund of dwarf treasure from The Hobbit that is Uncle Bilbo just, Uncle Bilbo's like, well, Frodo, he never quite found his path, so I'm going to help him out by giving him just a little bit of goblin treasure. And Frodo, he got a taste of that goblin treasure, that dwarf treasure, and he was just like, I'm never working a fucking day in my life. And then, yeah, that was the whole Lord of the Rings was just essentially Frodo was the dude from Big Lebowski, and he was just like, man, far out, you need me to throw a ring into a mountain? Today? All right, man, I guess I can fucking do that. Don't chap my ass over it. But, whoa, there's a dwarf here. Or, I'm sorry, little person. Whoa, and you're the prettiest dude I've ever seen. What's your name? Legolas? Whoa. And then Aragorn walked in. He's like, never mind. That's the prettiest dude I've ever seen. Frodo is just zonked 24 the whole time. That's why he keeps trusting Smeagol. Smeagol's like, I'm a traitor. I'm going to eat you in your sleep. And he's like, he seems like a pretty chill. Like, I know he's got some issues, man, but like, honestly, who doesn't? And like, live and love, bro. Like, and Sam is just like his kind of type A friend who's along, and he's like, Frodo, we have got to get this. I will carry you up this mountain if I have to. And he's like, dude, yeah, honestly, my legs are so tired. Do you mind carrying me? Share the load, Sam. Wise Ganji. His name isn't even Sam. His name's just Sam. But Frodo's stoned. He's like, Sam, you're so wise. Dude, you're so fucking wise, dude. Like, oh. And all it is that like Sam one time recommended cutting up some bananas onto his peanut butter sandwich. And he's like, you're so fucking wise, dude. That's some of the craziest shit I've ever heard of. Let's go up this mountain together. And he's on his back. Can you imagine carrying a big stoned loser with hairy feet up a mountain? Sam's the true hero of that story. Like, just no questions asked. If you were to make that movie today, everyone would be like, put him on the center of the poster. But that's biopics, right? You're going to pick the big stoned loser who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing just because he's a little more charismatic and he's prettier. He is prettier. I'll give that to Elijah. Yeah, but I feel better now. I will say. After saying a bunch of nonsense for 10 minutes, sometimes it turns out that all I need, what it is I don't actually want to be, I don't want to be around people so I can receive, like, so I can share the load. I don't want to be Sam. I don't want to be around people so I can like help them in their journey and be a good friend. I just want to be there so I can be like, batteries on your nipples whacking off brand no frills. I just want to throw a bunch of words together in a soup to see if, will you laugh at me, please? I'm Schmeagol, but the Precious is just like, give me some laughter, please.
Please, I need it. I need the giggles. I'll do anything you say for them.
I'm just in a loincloth, no shirt on. Hair's all. I'm doing little rhymes. I'm just like,
give me the chuckles or I'll buckle under the weight. Share the load.
There's a lot of cool songs in Lord of the Rings. Under the misty mountains. Oh, gold. And that's, I just love singing. I'm a man who I love a movie that's got songs. Doesn't matter what those songs are. I think, I really do kind of judge the merit of any sort of political system on the songs that they have, and that's why I think the communists are right, because if we're honest, like, who's got better songs than like, like that, who's like, comrade working in the fields sort of. So I think if more pop acts, because that thing where like pop acts, their pop music is just whatever's popular at the time, so it will borrow things from hip hop or jazz or funk. Right now is really big. I think they're missing a golden opportunity. I think pop acts should spend more time trying to steal communist worker anthems and incorporate that into their songwriting. Like, can you imagine if Ariana Grande just came out and was like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Communism. Just sung in like a super deep voice. And she has like a big Stalin mustache, and she's in like a military uniform with one of those hats, and she's like, yeah. Communism, farming, mechanize the proletariat. That song would go to number one. I don't know if you've ever talked to someone in Gen Z, but they love communism. And I think it's because their songs are catchy. Also, I think it's probably like, it's 99.9% the songs are super catchy. It's 0.1% that they've spent their entire life watching the collapse of capitalism and all that entails. I think, but it's mainly the songs. I think it's probably, it's mostly songs. Number two is actually the sick fits. The great costuming. Number three, coming in at 0.0005% of the decision, is that they've witnessed the collapse of capitalism in their lifetime. And that's all they've witnessed. Like, if you're born after 2000, if you've lived your entire life in a post 9/11 Western world, like, why would you endorse capitalism? When you were 8, the housing market collapsed and everyone lost their homes. And then COVID and Trump and just, it's, yeah, like, there's that old quote that goes like, if you're not a Democrat, if you're not a liberal when you are a young man, then you have no heart. And if you're not a conservative when you're an old man, you have no brain. And it's like, yeah. But that does assume that the system that assumes that you're going to be able to make it to being an old man with having to fight on the like Mad Max terrain. Just witness me. If you're not like, that's what the future is for everyone born post 9/11. And they know it. Like, they watched Mad Max Fury Road came out in 2012 and they were like, is this my retirement plan? Oh, and it is. That's your retirement plan, is dying triumphant on Fury Road.